let's cover a few worked examples on if statements and Boolean expressions. So here we declare a Boolean to be false, so that means that not false is true. So given this Boolean expression evaluated to true, this statement of code gets executed, and B is true is output to the screen. Now in this second example, an integer I is declared with a value of 1. And therefore, given that I is equal to 1, this Boolean expression will evaluate to true, and this code statement is executed. And note that this second code statement is executed outside the if statement because we didn't use blocking to include it in the body of the if statement. So therefore we shouldn't have indented here, and you should write this code statement starting from here when it's not part of the if statement for good coding practice. So the output of this program is I equals 1 and an exclamation mark. Because we used print and not print line, these strings get output on the same line. Now in this third example, we declare an integer j to be equal to 1 and an integer k to be equal to 2. And in the if statement, we check if j plus 1 is not equal to k. Well, j plus 1 is equal to 2, and that's equal to k. So therefore this Boolean expression will evaluate to false, and we expect the code under the else statement to be executed. So note that this statement here is going to cause a compile error because we have an else statement without an if statement. So the correct way to write this code is to use blocking. So we include this code here in the body of the if statement, and therefore we'll have two-way selection using an if-else statement. Now here we declare three integers, so L is equal to 1, M is 2, and N is 3. And in this first Boolean expression, we check if L is equal to M, which is false. And for the next Boolean expression, L is also not equal to N. So this is also false. So when we have an OR operator, only one of these conditions must be true, and therefore the code in the body of the else statement will be executed. And this string here will be printed to the screen. Now in the next example, we declare a Boolean add to be false and a Boolean subtract to be true, and two integers O and P. And here we have multi-way selection using if, else if, and else statements. And first we check if add is true. So we don't have to write out explicitly if add is equal to true, because this means the same thing. So given that add is false, then this Boolean expression does not get evaluated, because both must be true given the AND operator. So this is also an example of short-circuited evaluation. So given this if statement evaluated to false, the else if gets checked. So again add is false, and therefore the code in the body of the else statement is executed. So what we have is O being set to O minus P. So given that O is 1 and P is 2, O will be set to -1. And therefore minus 1 will be output to the screen. And note that we didn't need to use blocking for the else statement because there's only one line of code to execute.